Hi everyone, so today I figured I'd show you my complete home gym setup. So I spent just under $3,000 Canadian with tax included on this whole home gym. Right now it's basically 100% complete. I have everything I want. Just if I get stronger, I'll have to buy more weights, but I've got plenty of weight for the time being. So I thought I would show all of you all the equipment I have and give you an idea if you want to invest in a home gym, what kind of equipment you should get, how much it's going to cost roughly. So I guess we'll start with the main apparatus here. So this big metal thing that's holding the bar that the bench is sitting in between, this is the Northern Lights 92-inch crossbox squat stand with chin bar. So I got this partly because it does have a chin-up bar, which is useful if you want to do chin-ups, pull-ups, and you can also hang Olympic rings from this if you want to do dips. And the reason I got this as opposed to a power rack or a cage is because this just takes up a smaller footprint in the room. A power rack or a cage, it's enclosed, so it's just more intrusive in the whole room. This has an open design so you can walk past a lot easier. I also got the safety catches here so that if I'm doing squats or bench and I fail a lift, I can just set it on those things rather than having something crash onto the floor and then make a hole into the apartment underneath me. So this is nice. Northern Lights, I got a lot of Northern Lights equipment. It's not that I'm sponsored by them or anything, it's just that this is the equipment that was available and it was the best combination between price and performance. I found Northern Lights produces pretty good equipment, and it's not Rogue Fitness level, but it's good. It's a good combination of, price versus performance. This can handle enough weight for me, certainly. I've loaded, I think the most I've loaded on here is like 315 pounds, and handles it just fine. I couldn't imagine it having difficulty with more weight, like 500 pounds. So if you're a pretty strong dude, and I'm planning on getting a lot stronger now that I've got my own home gym and I can train again, I think this will be just fine. So I can squat in this, I can bench. I do really like the spacing with the holes, especially when you're benching. Gets more spaced out towards the top, if you're going to do squats. But this squat stand is really nice. It doesn't take up a huge footprint in the room. As you can see, it's not gigantic. It's got an open design, so I went with that. And next up is the bench. So this is an adjustable bench. It will go flat. You can also do decline, and it will go up to a total 90-degree incline. This seat here also adjusts. So this is a very good bench overall. I have very little to complain about. It can handle a lot of weight, so even if you're a really heavy bencher, you're benching like 405, it'll be able to handle that weight. The only complaint I have is just this backrest. It's a little narrow, so if you're a big dude, this is a bit narrow, and when you're benching, you just have to be especially mindful of your setup. Just be very, very tight, make sure you're well balanced, and then everything's good. That's my only complaint, though. Again, very sturdy, doesn't rattle around or shake. The feet are rubber, so it won't scratch up the floor even if you don't have any padding down. Has wheels, so it's very easy to move around. And just a good bench in general. I think this cost me $440 before tax, which isn't too bad. There's a lot of adjustable benches that are lower quality and more expensive, so this is pretty good. I also like the foam padding. It's very thick, but it's very, very dense, so it doesn't feel mushy. It gives you a nice, supportive platform to press off of. We'll talk about the rubber flooring I got. So these are actually individual squares that pull apart. I think these were $20 per square, and I have 9 squares here. And this is enough space for everything I need to do. So if I want to do squats, bench, deadlift, this little bit of flooring holds everything, so it's enough flooring for me. You might want to get more if you want. I would say if you want a larger sort of area to work out on, put all your stuff on. It might be more cost effective to get something like horse stall mats. Those are pretty cheap, and you can get a lot of square footage for your money. But I just went with this. I didn't want something that's super thick. This isn't really, really thick. I think that's like half an inch or something. I didn't want something that was really, really thick, just because I walk through here a lot, and I don't want my foot, like, catching onto it and falling. So this works well. It absorbs some of the noise, and it prevents the floor from getting messed up. And over here is the Olympic barbell that I have. So this is a standard 86-inch, I don't know what it is in metric, but it's a standard 45-pound, 86-inch barbell. This is a Northern Lights barbell. It's pretty good. It's a 28 millimeter. It's rated for 1,500 pounds, and it was pretty cheap. It was only $200 that I paid for it. So far, I haven't had any issues with it. It hasn't bent. So I know a lot of people are like, you got to spend at least $300-400 to get a good bar. But so far, this is being pretty good for me. I don't expect to lift any more than 1,500 pounds. That's what this is rated to. So far, it's been good. This doesn't have a bearing. This has a bushing, but the bushing is pretty smooth. So this is one thing I'd say, like, make sure you don't cheap out on. Make sure you get a good barbell, because the cheaper ones will end up bending and crap. But this seems pretty good. But also make sure, like, don't cheap out on important apparatus that you're going to use all the time. So, like a squat rack or a power rack or whatever, and a bench. Make sure you don't cheap out on these things. They have to support a lot of weight, be stable, has to at least be safe. Back here, I have my Swiss bar. So this is good. I really like the Swiss bar for vertical pressing. It's better, in my opinion, like at least for me, for just doing vertical standing presses. These angled pieces here, they're just easier on my shoulder compared to just a straight barbell. So I really like doing vertical standing pressing with Swiss bar. You can also do some tricep exercises standing that I really like with a Swiss bar. This Swiss bar weighs 57 pounds. It's pretty heavy, and I think it was $270 that I spent on it. And over here is an easy curl bar right next to it. This is a cheap one that I got on Amazon. Because of COVID, it can be kind of difficult to get exercise supplies, and I just had to go for this kind of cheapy one that I got on Amazon. I think this was like $120, $150, something like that. It's not that great. I think it has a 200-pound capacity. The sleeve is a little short. The only good thing I can say about it is it has a very, very subtle curve. A lot of these easy curl bars that I found, they have a much more radical curve. I prefer a much more subtle curve. And over here, I have a pair of Olympic dumbbell handles. So I would recommend getting these. With a home gym, you kind of have to make a choice between either spending an insane amount of money on a full dumbbell set that will also take up a lot of space, or you could get adjustable dumbbells. There's a lot of different options. I know there are those like weird twisty dumbbells with a weight selection thing on them that take up very little space, but they don't go very heavy, and you have to be very careful with those. They can break easy. And you also have the standard dumbbell handles that are twist lock. But again, the issue with those is you have to get a ton of other smaller weight plates to be able to, get the like load you want. I like very often do rows with over 100 pounds for these dumbbells, so it's not very cost effective to get the standard twist lock dumbbell handles. So what I did was I got Olympic dumbbell handles. So this has the same sleeve diameter as Olympic weight plates. So you can put these sort of Olympic weight plates on these dumbbell handles, and that saves you an insane amount of money. So I guess that will segue into the weight plates that I got. So this was probably the biggest single expense for this whole home gym setup. I could only find these rubberized Northern Lights weight plates, and these were a bit more expensive. These were over $2 a pound. I think for the complete weight set that I got, I spent just under $1,000 Canadian with tax included. So I got four 45-pound plates, four 25s, four 10s, four 5s, and four 2.5s. So the reason I got four of everything is because I want to load them on these Olympic dumbbell handles. So rather than getting like, what would it be? 10 small 10-pound weight plates just to load one dumbbell handle up to 100 pounds. Well, now you can just get four of these, load them onto one dumbbell handle, and now you can do like 100-pound rows super easily. So if you're already going to get a set of Olympic weight plates, you might as well just get like, a few extra sets of these so that you could load two separate dumbbells, and then you have a ton of weight and you save money and you have, a good set of dumbbells. So I'd recommend these. They're kind of long, but if you're used to lifting like really big, heavy dumbbells, they're not intrusive, they don't get in the way. You can do presses, overhead presses, shoulder presses, rows of these without a problem. I'm 6'3" too, so the long handles don't really bother me, so I'd highly recommend these. Now these are the hollow ones. These are 6 pounds. They also make ones that aren't hollow that are like over 10 pounds. I'd recommend getting those just because they're a little more heavy duty and they don't clank around like these. But these are very good. And if you're going to use Olympic dumbbell handles, make sure you get good collars. So these are Synergy collars. I just ordered them on Amazon. They're pretty cheap. They're aluminum. These are super, super good. These fit insanely tightly. I've tested these out. I've put 100 pounds just on one side of the Olympic dumbbell sleeves. They don't budge. So just make sure you get good collars. You can get these off of Amazon. I think they're $30 for a pair. So these are kind of a cheaper option. The only problem is they're kind of sharp at the end, so if you're gonna rest the dumbbells like on your legs or knees, they kind of irritate you a little bit, but it's not too big of a deal. You can spend more money on Rogue aluminum collars. Those might be a bit better. They can handle a bit more weight. It's not really a big deal though. These do the job, but the Rogue collars are lower profile, so they won't irritate you. And I just have some plastic Northern Lights collars just for normal barbell work. And last thing I would recommend, especially if you're in an apartment, is just some soft dense foam mats. So I think we just ordered these off of Amazon. We originally got these for our rabbits, but I just rest these on the floor whenever I'm doing something like deadlifts or like rows, and I just rest the plates on these, and they soak up pretty much all the noise and vibration, so I don't disturb my neighbors either beside me or underneath me. So I just recommend that if you're in an apartment. And this whole setup lets me do everything I need. I have a ton of weight, so I have a lot of room to improve. I think this is like over 400 pounds of weight here, so for right now, it's more than I need. And like you can tell, this whole setup is a very small overall footprint in the apartment. This is just in the living room area. So you really don't need much space. And again, like altogether, I spent just under 3,000 Canadian, including tax, on this whole setup, and that's roughly what you'd pay for a commercial gym over the course of a few years. And as far as cardio goes, I do have an at-home stationary bike. As you can see, I haven't really used this in a little bit, and that's because I've been rollerblading lately for exercise. I have 2 pairs of rollerblades. I've got the Powerslide Next skates here, and I also have the Powerslide Dupes over here. So that's my favorite form of cardio at the moment, but if I don't feel like it, if I can't go outside because it's raining, or I don't know, if it starts snowing, winter's coming, I can just do this for cardio. So I've been really liking the whole home gym thing. I've never had a real home gym. I did, like when I first started working out, I had a little bit of equipment, but nothing close to this. But with all this equipment, again, I can do everything I need. I've never really done much machine work. The only machines that I ever really used is like a lat pull down machine, but you can easily just do pull-ups. And there's just some shoulder machines that I like doing, but other than that, I've never been into machines, so I've only ever really been into free weights. And with this, I can do everything I need. I just flat out don't need a home, like a commercial gym, and I'd recommend it. I don't like being around people. I don't like having to wait for people to do stuff. With a lot of commercial gyms, they just have some shoddy equipment that isn't really even usable sometimes. And with this, you can spend money where you need to and save money where you need to, and you can get everything you need that's just custom tailored for your needs, which is great. You can get equipment that's just perfectly suited for you, and you don't have to worry about the commercial gym bull crap. Having to wait for the gym to open, not being able to train at certain times, either because the gym isn't open or just because it's way too busy, having to wait for equipment, people pissing and shitting and sneezing everywhere, and yeah. So the home gym life, it's pretty sweet. So far, because I've gotten all my equipment, I haven't missed a single workout, because I have no excuse. I don't have to get up, drive, deal with people. So I like it, and I'd recommend it. It is a little bit of an investment, but it's really not that big of a deal in the whole grand scheme of things. So hope this gives you, some inspiration or ideas for creating your own home gym. And as always, keep making those vegan gains.
What a relief! When will this poisonous product cease? This is another public service announcement. You can believe it or you can doubt it. Let us begin now with the cow. The way it gets to your plate and how.